first point in time that didgeridoos were featured in rock art, from carbon dating, suggests was only about 1,500 years ago. There was a splitwood didgeridoo found in a peat bog in Ireland that carbon dates back 4,000 years, and it was a splitwood. So they've taken it apart, cut the inside out and glued it back together 4,000 years ago, and still exists today, but petrified in a bog. They reckon it can possibly have been used with the same embouchure as the didgeridoo. Ash, yew and beech are probably my favourites. This is a piece of yew, a beautiful orange colour. It's a tough wood, yew, and it resonates well because of it. But this will be a full trunk of the tree, so that'll go up right up the centre. It's quite hard to work in a lot of ways because it's a lot tougher and bitty, and you also get a lot of splits with yew, even sort of a couple of years after you've made it. This is ash. Now, a sporting that runs through wood is to do with fungal infection. And I'm told that it's the wood's natural defence to stop fungal infection going from one layer to another layer. Now with ash, it typically grows in the soft grain of the wood. This is typical of the sporting in beech, which is absolutely stunning. Yeah, this is one of the best examples of sporting I've ever done. I don't want it to be fresh wood, I don't want it to be unseasoned, because I'll end up making an instrument and then it cracks after it's already been made. I want a gradual taper because it helps back pressure, which enables you to play it. If I'm looking for an English piece of wood in England, number one, I'm looking for an old enough dead tree that's dried out and seasoned, so it's not going to crack at a later date. I want to taper all the way because it creates great back pressure, creates volume as well, and creates reverb, which is what we want in sound quality. This started out about that thick, and I've taken all the wood off the outside. So really I want a big straight log. You can in theory make a didgeridoo out of anything. I cut down the centre with a bandsaw, take it apart, lean it up, and I use a 4-inch angle grinder, a little chain about that big that fits on the 4-inch angle grinder with chainsaw teeth on it, and you carve it out. It spins at high speed, and you carve it out. When you're taking this amount of wood out of a log that was that big, you're suddenly changing its moisture contents very rapidly. So if you do it too quickly, you end up with cracks all over the place. So I'll do it over a period of 6 months. This is woolly butt eucalyptus. This paler stuff is sapwood. This is heartwood. And the termites have evolved only to like the flavour of the heartwood. This is in Northern Territories in Australia. Other parts of Australia, the southern parts of Australia, they eat anything, and they eat erratically all over the place. So they'll have holes all over the place, so it won't work as an instrument. Whereas the ones in the Northern Territory, they've evolved into only liking the taste of that, because if they come out the side, they'll die from ultraviolet rays, and that gives you a clean tube in the side, inside, and then you use your chisels to carve out the inside to the shape you want, because obviously the termites are just having dinner, really. A softwood will make a slightly duller sound, where sound soaks into the softness of the wood. Whereas woolly butt eucalyptus, for instance, because they're grown in really hot countries, they grow slowly and very densely. So they're very dense and very hard, which means you get an extremely rich tone to it. The first part of playing a didge is just doing a loose raspberry and putting your lips inside. That's the first part of playing didge. If you can move your mouth from an or to an e position, but without your voice, so you're going or e, with your lips vibrating and no voice, you bend the note up and down, although there's lots of noises you can make. It's a one-note instrument. It's a very, very bendable note. When you're in the or position, you bend the note at its lowest. And when you're in the e position, you bend it at its highest. So when you go from or to e, you get. Then you can use loads of vocal noises. I'll do it on a different didge. . And then there's something called circular breathing. And circular breathing is the really important stuff in didgeridoo playing. This is what makes you able to play with a constant tone non-stop. And this is through squeezing the air out of your mouth instead of with your lungs and breathing in at the same time. Then blowing out with your lungs again, then squeezing the air out again while sniffing and making rhythms with that. Right, so if I play you a full tune with a bit of the bending of the note up and down, and the yaw-wee, with a bit of vocal noises, and lots of rhythmical techniques with the breathing patterns.